Welcome back, everyone, to ESL One Katowice. That's right, the first time we are at the Spodek Arena for ESL One and Dota 2. It's a magical stadium. It's going to be filled to the rafters come Saturday and Sunday for the final parts of what is sure to be a fabulous $1 million major. Also on the line, of course, 1,500 of those vital DPC points. The players are all fighting for those, as those standings will no doubt change at the end of this tournament. We've had 2 matches already today. We're going to head into our 3rd right now. It's a bit of an old tie, this one. EG versus LGD, and we've got a new panel as well. Purge is welcome back alongside Fogged, who's with us, and Cap.
Hello.
How you doing, gents?
Good.
It's been a fun start, I think.
Yeah,
the first 2 matches, bit interesting. Not like
0-6
sensational, but we are 0-6 on predictions. No pressure, boys, for game number 3.
That's why they invite us, the experts.
Yeah,
know all about the game.
Alan's not here, and I think me, Cap, and Alan are actually like the cursed panel. I'm pretty sure.
Weren't you?
We suck.
40%
what
on
was
the
that?
finals.
No, hold on. What was that tournament that you and I were at, and you were like, okay, I'm going to try really hard for this final. I'm going to get it right. In the first 2 games, you got it wrong, and you were like, okay, I'm going to go for the other team, game 3, and then they won, and you were like, well, then I switched, right? So then you go for the 4th, and that one was wrong as well. And you were just like, I don't care anymore. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to follow whatever Alan chooses or something. It was absurd, wasn't it?
I had a strategy where I was just like, I'm just going to pick the opposite of Alan, and then Alan was actually on fire, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go with Alan this time. Because apparently the drafts were like whatever. I was like, the teams are a pretty even match, but draft was going whatever. I'm like, all right, let's go with Alan. Then Alan just starts getting everything wrong.
It's a panel curse, really. I don't envy any of you. I really don't.
It's okay. None of us will ever beat Black and Perfect World.
Oh, yeah.
Was it 11%?
Was it that bad?
I think he got them all wrong.
No, he didn't. He got one right.
He was like 1 in 13.
One out of 13, I think, was the actual stat in the end, which I think Purge will probably figure me out, but it's like 11% or something. It was absurd.
I believe that. Well,
absolutely absurd, yeah.
Last time I paneled with him, he did super well, way better than me.
Yeah, he's usually super hot, isn't he? Anyway, move on. Let's talk about evil geniuses in this particular game. Fogged as the old EG boy.
Sure.
Will sat in that very same position as you this morning. He said the most disappointing team in the whole of the DPC are evil geniuses. Do you agree?
You guys all said that?
No, Will did.
Will did?
It was Will's point. He said they are the most disappointing team in the DPC. Do you agree?
He holds them in super high regard.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, who's more disappointing?
Who's missing? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Probably OG. Yeah, I think I'd put OG a little bit more disappointing. Because I hold them in high regard, and I think that Reza was actually a good fit for them. So I thought they would, especially like with Mad still continuing the coaching with them too. I thought they'd be doing better. Yeah. EG's kind of been like swapping people up a bit. They're bringing in Boba as the coach, so they're changing things up. So you can understand that they are lacking a little, but I think OG would have been higher for DPC. So I'd probably put OG then EG.
Okay, Kevin, we had a chance to talk about Misery coming to this team in Genting. I just want to get your thoughts on it, because he's a great player, very smart, got all the right qualities that would fit into an Evil Genius's team. Does he fit into this team? Does he help them?
I think so, yeah. I think he's playing well in his role. I think that he does seem to bring the right strategy. He's got some good results, obviously, from DC. I look at it more, and my excuse is that it's just that EG hasn't quite hit that mark yet, and they aren't just quite hitting the best team of NA or the top 3 in the world yet. So I guess I just don't attribute it that much to his fault or anything. It seems like there's something else missing, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they've made some changes, obviously, positionally, Cap, and how do you feel they're working out? I know Fear's got a fair bit of stick from some of the fans out there, but that's relatively unfair as well, isn't it? Because of the length of time. I know he's played the position before, but he's come back to it, and it's a very different kind of meta now.
I think Fear Carry is fine. I think people are
fine.
far too hard on him because he's playing the Matumba Man-like role, right? He's playing more of the space-creating core.
Yeah, the sackable lane.
Yeah, they're being a lot more. It's the reason they pick up Lycan, because Lycan can be sacked really hard, because Lycan jungles really quickly and he has great lane sustain. So, like, why wouldn't they pick it up as a 1-2 for Fear?
I mean, pretty much every game you look at EG, it's Sumail on the top of the net worth when they're doing well. They really just relegate him to all the farm and Fear. Yeah, like you said, the back foot.
So it's like, you know, I think Fear Carry, whatever. I think probably more importantly to examine Sumail's offlane and like how he performs in that role.
He needs some time as well, though, doesn't he?
Himself.
He needs a bit more time.
He definitely. I think he definitely needs a little bit more experience on some of these other offlaners. But the things that he has grinded, I think he's looked very good on. Like one of the first offlaners he picked up, I was actually the one who told him to pick it up. The Abaddon, right? His Abaddon games actually look pretty good. Beastmaster was the other one that was just like being spammed out. He said, try this 4-0-2 build. It's awesome. It's amazing. Like, you just own the lanes. And next thing you know, we see Beastmaster probably one of the best offlaners in this current patch. So I think on the heroes that he has like shown pretty good at,
yeah,
I think
just
he's
needs
fantastic.
Perhaps a little bit of a wider ball and a bit
question
deeper.
of like what happens if you start sacking Sumail a little bit more? What happens if he's playing some of these other more sacrificial offlaners? How does Sumail look then?
Okay.
I think he also has some late game troubles sometimes where he'll just get picked off or make a maybe weird positional mistake. He ends up dying, they lose Ro8. Something like that is maybe somewhere else he can make some improvement.
Okay, let's move on to LGD. As you can see on the screen right now, they're almost ready to go. Another team that have made some changes here, Fog. Two main changes in this particular team. Chalice and Xnova. FY, of course, coming in last year, at the back end of last year as well. I mean, there's literally 2 players left in this team that form any kind of longevity in it. These 2 new boys, like one of these boys is from absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Chalice.
Like literally nowhere, where they've got this deep pool of youth systems in China which are full of talented young players. And yet somehow this guy has come from absolutely nowhere.
So we got a chance to talk to the newbie, one of the newbie managers, Jofi. She was actually telling us that a couple of teams actually had eyes on him for a while, and they were all considering him. So to see him get picked up, I guess after we hear that, is not so much of a surprise. But yeah, I think he's been filling that role. I think he's pretty solid too. Like we saw them at Star Ladder. They got into the finals. They were looking pretty hot. They took a game, so they didn't take any more games, but they did end up taking one, and I think FY back to that 4 role just suits him so much better.
I just want to give you this cap, because this will make all of us miserable. Right?
Oh.
His first professional game, Chalice, was in April 2016. First time he played a pro Dota game.
Nice.
Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah.
There's not much
I
more
mean,
you can say.
Sumail's a little bit more disgusting though, right? He just pops in the scene, wins a TI. He's like, woo.
Hey, GH,
But that's pretty crazy.
GH is the same, right?
GH?
Yeah, GH is the other one.
GH is the big one.
Remember when we popped onto the scene, Fog?
No.
What did we win?
in
I never won.
1970?
You never won anything.
Never won anything.
Yeah.
I never even made it there, so.
Yeah, he's just 19 years old. He's
Kevin's the biggest winner here on the panel.
What's up?
and he's
Nah.
never.
Kevin's the biggest winner
Yeah,
here.
I'm sure he's got more prize money.
I'm sure he does.
My prize money. My prize money is pretty old. I made it to TI, but I never got prize money.
He
at
got,
TI.
Yeah.
he got to all the bad TIs.
All the bad. I got
all
three,
the bad
4, 5.
placements on TIs. So you're next on.
Let me check esports earnings real quick here.
Yes.
You might be ahead of me.
I'm ahead of Cap. That's all I know.
Oh.
That's fine.
Damn.
Yeah, this kid is 19, by the way. He's never won a Dota 2 tournament his entire career.
Huh.
Bear in mind, he's only started in April 2016, which is kind of nuts.
He'll
But
be okay, I think.
he's going to be okay here. We are going to get into the draft for this game, and we've got an SK, a Sand King first pick for EG, and a Gyro for LGD.
Early core pickups by LGD seems to be the new thing they're doing. They either take the Gyro in the first 2, or they seem to take Terrorblade in the first 3, or Gyro in the first 3, like across the board. They just love having Ame on this super carry.
It's like the way that Cole picked up the similar situation, right? Gyro, Phantom Monster.
I find it interesting that they banned Shadow Fiend in the first phase, but it seems like it's like a fixture of a lot of Chinese drafts. The same
Does seem
And
to be,
it's,
doesn't
and
it?
it's maybes. Yeah, it's maybes
big,
most
big
played
historic.
They can
players.
pick up Chen, Sand King Chen combo.
on EG, yeah.
Yeah. So LGD got to be a little bit scared of that.
Naga's left in the pool, huh? Naga
like
in the,
Rubik's Gun. He was just like the Witch Doctor. Or
Do you like
Yeah,
that?
Naga.
The fact that they've used that Gyro first of all, because it's kind of like a block pick too, isn't it? It's like having a 4th ban on EG. It's also Arteezy's most picked as well. That
I think
Naga,
it's
though.
It's
just
just safe to open with.
yeah, super consistent carry
Yeah.
that can actually be ran in multiple roles. You can be aggro. We've seen him put mid. We've seen him safe lane, of course. I think he's just a very diverse hero, and this is a great combo, the Naga Gyrocopter.
Yeah, I feel a lot less comfortable with picking PL or Terrorblade in the first one too. Gyro's already out there, especially with the Naga Siren. That's actually so much team fight power.
Do they do the Chen? Okay, they actually do the Coddle.
Well, I guess that gives them a really good aggressive dual lane if they want to do. So, like, that's one way you can beat Gyrocopter is just push against him, because he can't actually clear creep waves very fast. It's basically just flat cannon early game. And once flat cannon's on cooldown for 30 seconds, then you can definitely dive in and pressure him, because then at least you have Rocket Barrage, or Rocket Barrage will hit your creeps as you fight him. So,
Yeah,
maybe
two
that's what they're going
heroes that can just push it into his face, and Sanking versus Gyro. Gyro's not really that far range, so the Caustic, you actually can get caught by it with Coddle Blasts.
And we saw that was the way Vici Gaming managed to beat OG in the large part. You see all this team fight that's coming out from LGD. They have this really powerful split pushing combination where Sand King bursts down waves super fast, is able to shove out side lanes, and they've got the Coddle to be able to recall him back into situations so he can be super aggressive.
I love watching good Coddle play.
Yeah,
like the way the recall can be used inside of team fights is just absurd. Recall mana leak.
I think that was like probably the part that surprised me the most is how well VG Gaming played with their Keeper of the Light.
And he didn't get an Aghanims till like 40 minutes or something, right?
Wow.
He was just playing without it. So are they gonna ban the Disruptor on EG, or are they gonna give up Naga, Disruptor, Gyro?
Dude, there's no way, right?
Those three are way
can't
too
afford to do
strong
that, can they?
together. I think EG should probably take that one out. I see them taking out the Night Stalker, but there's already a Naga in the pool.
Unless they're just getting a bunch of BKB cores like the Giant Knight or something.
Fair.
Yep.
I think it's like an unnecessary risk though.
Yeah, and I mean the Night Stalker, sure they have Coddle, but the Naga's already been shown, so it's like I guess they just really want to play around that vision. Tinker and Death Prophet get taken out by LGD.
And they have to remove the Disruptor here.
I think they should. I mean, unless just like Cap was saying, unless they go for something like these like Jugs, Lifestealers, or BKB cores that can actually be okay versus the combo that we all know and love so much.
I feel like we've seen a lot of Lifestealer today already, actually.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 or 3 games.
Even into PL, right? That was the VP game.
Yeah, in the other
one of these
matches,
Radiants.
oddly. In the other matches, not the ones that we've had here.
They banned Witch Doctor.
We saw a lot in the qualifiers
So,
recently against the Tiny Pigs.
It's also Nova's most picked.
It is Nova. Yeah, he was playing it every game actually when we saw them in the past. Other than that, they picked Bane a lot of the time.
But his top 3 does include Disruptor as well.
Yeah.
So, looks like the obvious pick. But perhaps the EG want them to pick that because they've got something planned.
So,
I think they might pick the Chen for EG if they see the Disruptor and they can try to just bully the lanes more. Because that's what the Witch Doctor ban would tell me.
Oh.
LGD takes the Chen themselves.
Not baited into the Disruptor pick, I like it.
So Will was talking about Coddle being effective against Chen for the reason that you can just push the lane against him and he can't dive you as easily. We'll see if EG actually plays that way. In the game that VG did against OG, they actually didn't play it in that way. The Coddle was on the other side of the map and it seemed like a mistake, but
yeah, big mistake.
Just getting doubled up. The double creep wave that Chen does in the you're level 1 and they get level 2 before you, and then they're diving you with a Chen creep with penitence, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Do you want to know how many times LGD have played Chen in 707 since 707 came out?
0.
Yeah, I was about
One?
to say it's not very often.
And they lost.
And they did lose, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen them play it, so I didn't think they had.
well, if it wasn't on their radar yet, it's got to be now. But at this point in the tournament, because every team is drafting it, just about. So
It's really strong hero.
And I felt like to me that the Chinese, like VG Gaming, their draft was very unusual to VG Gaming themselves. Like the heroes that they picked up were not heroes that they've been running recently. So maybe this is something that the Chinese scene in general is trying to spread out their picks a lot more.
well, one thing that VP did really well against Chen earlier against Optic was they grabbed a lot of cores that were hard to gank, like Jugs, things like that, Queen of Pain. EG opting for a Doom, in some ways not bad against Chen. Just eat the creep right before it stuns you, I guess. Or
And you can Doom dispels, so if you actually use the Doom after the Chen Send Home comes out,
and then
or
you
you
cast
get
it
a
again 10 seconds later.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
still safe.
But you can also get a Purge creep, so you have like 2 different ways of utilizing to stop the Send Home from the Chen, and you know, if you can follow the Chen around early and eat his creep, it can actually be pretty useful.
You also need an important way to be able to deal with Naga Siren, right? You need multiple avenues of initiation and something that kills the Naga Siren's pause on a team fight.
Slightly unusual Doom pick. They've played it 4 times since 707.
I do like it. I think it's fun to play. I'm not sure if it's solidified as a strong hero, but it's very good at being aggressive. If he gets a semi-okay lane, and I mean, we don't even know what lane he's going to be in. He could be offlane, could be for... I think most people play him as offlane right now. But ooh, there's Pugna. A very green Pugna.
Ooh, yeah, it's very green. I do like me some Pugna.
It's like 2 colors, black and green, nothing else.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a good pick here, though?
Guess they're trying to utilize with the Chen, just getting that push the lanes in, dive with the Chen creep. Because that's probably the off lane, right? Do you think I don't know if maybe on Pugna that sounds a little different to me.
Yeah, it should be off lane. They had a recent draft. I watched a game of theirs, and I was so sure they were going to lose because they had Pugna and like Terrorblade and another core that was not like a frontliner at all. And I was like, don't you just get run over? But they had Naga Siren. That was the big thing. They had Naga Siren disruptors, so they were able to just play with this constant setup of the Naga Siren that allowed them to build these squishier cores because they were always able to have superior initiation.
Oh, look, the Fear Lycan.
And they're going to be able to run at a lot of these squishier cores in the back line, but
it's kind of nice that they do have so many melee heroes in some ways. Like you said, it's Pugna does have to worry about people running at him, and the Naga protects that. But Ensnare and the disables that LGD have, they can't cover everybody. If all of the cores on EG are melee heroes that are going to run them down and have high HP, they can't stop them all from running at them.
Yeah, and even just the Necronomicon minions are going to run down these heroes, right?
And Necrobook has Purge for the for the Crepify.
Yeah, 11 and 3 right now. EG when picking the Lycan.
Lycan versus Gyro too. Lycan eats the Gyro until you get BKB Butterfly on Gyrocopter.
Yeah. So they ban out Queen of Pain. It would have been a mobile hero in the mid lane, hard to gank by Chen.
Yeah.
See if they have another hero similar. They got 30 seconds left.
They do ban the Terrorblade anyway. It's Ame's most played hero, right?
They would have done what, Gyro mid or something?
Yeah, I think so.
The PL is Ame's.
PL is the most one right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I know Terrorblade gets banned
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
his third most played.
Okay.
They've got
TB,
really good team fight right now on LGD side, but they need something a little bit beefier. Or something that can give them team fight worries, like something that can stun in an AoE, like something like Ravaged. That way they can like set up outside of Song of the Siren. I feel like give them a little bit of space if they get ran at.
You know, I think something like that, the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, that could be good. You don't really care if you get doomed.
Yeah.
Lycan won't be that big of a threat. I guess he'd have mana problems, but
For EG, what Arteezy's hero, right?
Just while we've got him on the screen, Crit seems to de-age, by the way. Seems to get younger.
Crazy.
yeah.
Razor versus, has a Purge against Pugna,
Purge against Pugna, Purge against Sendhome.
has the Link against Gyrocopter.
Yeah, it's pretty good against most of their heroes. Maybe Pugna's the one that's a little scary, but once you get BKB, it should be fine. And gives them some good early game stuff that fills in some of the gaps that they're missing, like if Doom's on cooldown, for example.
Their lineup definitely suffers from the Naga Siren sleep and how
Yeah.
impactful that is, but Razor is an early BKB hero. They have strong
Dragon
initiation.
Knight. So now it's into a Razor too, so they could put the Razor mid. We're gonna have to see some dodges. So LGD wants to lane the Pugna versus the Razor somehow.
Okay,
DK
draft done.
Gyro.
Draft done. LGD versus EG. Another intriguing draft, another intriguing set of
They could do like the
mental
Gyro
maths
did.
between the two. Cap, which way is this going? Bearing in mind there is no curse panel.
I think that, I don't know, I think that this Naga Siren setup and disengage is going to be really problematic for EG's lineup. I don't think they should have given up Naga Siren. We'll go LGD.
Okay. Mr. Foggy. Mr. Fogged.
And I'm so cursed with Cap. I was also liking LGDs. I'm a big fan of Pugna.
Okay. Are you going against EG?
Be with me.
Yeah, I'm going against EG.
Forever.
Wow.
Wow. Thanks, Paul.
Peter.
I was gonna do that too.
Oh, no.
0-9, here we go.
Okay.
0-9.
So we're all going for,
No, I'm sure we're not wrong.
just to make sure you're aware at home, has been a little bit of a curse this morning on the panel, and they've all gone LGD. I'm so sorry, Chinese fans. Obviously, EG win this one. We've got a very different commentary lineup for you. I'm intrigued to see how this works out. Let's hand you over to Odie Pixel and Toby One.
That's right, we are your analyst panel because the analyst panel can't actually get anything right, so we go with the guys who are hype.
Absolutely, and what a matchup to do it with as well. EG versus LGD. A lot of people are excited to see how EG turns up to this one, and also to see how LGD fares. As we've been seeing in the past, they've been doing pretty good against a lot of the Chinese teams, and now we'll see once again how they can do on the international stage.
You know, I actually just want to see how EG actually run a draft like this. Like the panel all go the way of LGD till now. Let's talk about how EG is going to win this game, because the panel can never be right. So if we have the EG lineup, you've got your supports, you've got a lot of decent counter push at least. Do you think their cores are going to be strong enough to get through this? Like, because you're still going against a large amount of defense power of LGD. Like, they've got so much clearance. You're fighting into Netherward. You're fighting into just clearance galore from them. I
think a lot of it's going to be down to how much they can do before the ultimates come online. You know?
FY, no. Bye. There's no way to live through that. Oh wait, no, EG, you didn't finish the job.
They left it. They had a go and they walked off. Everyone, cool guys don't look at explosions, I know, but if there's no explosions happening, there's nothing to not look at.
7 match points. Why did I just double fault every single one of my serves? FY just walks away. It was underneath the observer ward. They could have blocked him. They could have done something. And, they let him go.
It was more, I guess, just a dominance play, You just bully FY out of the lane.
You're like, this is why. It's because EG are now going to get all 4 of the original bounty runes.
But that I don't think I've ever actually seen that in any of the competitive games since the change, so I think that might actually be GG.
Yeah.
That's 160 gold for everybody on the team.
Yeah, okay.
Look at the GPM.
Yeah,
look at the GPM.
Look at the net worth, man. Like, that's the one you've really got to start looking at. 750 is where we crack this. Huge change in the graph.
As much as we're smiling, it's actually pretty big. It's actually pretty big.
Oh, LGD, obviously, like, they believe they can win in the laning phase. They're running this Chen up on the top lane to support the gyrocopter. This will go up against Samael's safe lane with Misery. So this is it's hard for the Gyro because it almost feels like one of those hybrids, right? Like we talk about the NA, like the Coddle with the Beastmaster, which we've seen already picked up today, and now you're doing the Coddle with the SK is the combination instead. Yeah. And then on bottom lane, like, do you get a better trade-off? Like Chalice on the Pugna with FY's Naga versus Arteezy and Crit Naga as well as Doom, Naga, the Razor as well as Doom.
I guess the plus of this bottom lane from LGD is the fact that it's not really a lane where Arteezy can get an easy link off. You're going to have the control from the root, you're going to also have the slow from the Decrepify, but it's also a bit of an awkward lane. Naga obviously, it's all physical damage and such. Chalice is working with a magical burst, so the synergy is not necessarily there in the offensive state, but it is there in sort of the fact that they're not going to allow Arteezy to have this lane as a Razor where he fully dominates.
Yeah. I like the offensive state once LGD starts moving around. Like when you can bring the creep wave underneath the tower, have a Chen army, and then you've got higher levels up in the Nether Blast, that's not something Arteezy can really stop without putting his life at risk. So, and it's not like Fear's going to rotate off the middle lane. Like we're talking about it with Blitz in the last game. Like, which hero is really better at rotating? We're not really going to see a Lycan rotate early on. Fear just wants to find that farm in the mid lane against Somnus. But Somnus is happy once he's got Dragon Form to add the pressure, push in towards the tier 1 towers. That's what this whole lineup is about. Like when you grab a Pugna early on, it's like watching a Drow Ranger lineup not push. It would be unnatural.
And I think that's one of the things as well that sort of makes this mid matchup a little awkward for EG. Because as you say, when you hit the 6, Fear, with the shapeshift, he's probably wanting to go to another lane and sort of, enforce his dominance, having that level advantage. But if he does that, the DK is going to have 6, and the DK is going to get a lot of pressure onto EG's tower. So I'll be interested to see how Fear does play it once he hits the 6, and whether he still moves away or they just focus on bringing back up to help get the DK.
Arme as well as X-Nova, they're going to go onto Samael. They didn't get the first blood up on top lane before. Arme dropping very, very low. The Hellbear Smasher can't close the distance, so Samael able to both wand as well as salve up, and it's the bottom lane where EG will get the first blood onto Chalice, who was just a little bit further away from the Naga, who was busy pulling.
Yeah, absolutely. Once he's left on his own, he has to be so careful, Chalice, because there is severe chase down. And, this Doom and Razor running at you once they hit this level 2 as they were, it's pretty darn scary. Razor now level 3, he's got the point of the passive as well as the Plasma and the Static Link. They do have to be careful how they poke at these two, and they can't do it half-hearted. They have to stick together as a duo. Going for these pulls, it's always going to leave the Pugna vulnerable in the lane.
Yeah, so Chalice just be more aware of the lane, and maybe Observer Wards for the win. But for now, the laning phase will still remain patient. I'm waiting for X-Nova to actually burn this Smoke of Deceit. Like, he's been walking around with a Troll Trapper, waiting for him to... I don't know if he can really flank around to the top and find a kill. The Gyrocopter's not going to lend that much damage. Like, his Rocket Barrage is not bad if you can hold him in position and then get the homing missile to connect, but like right now it's more of just that passive laning phase till you hit the level 6, until you have like that level 3 in the Nether Blast, which is still just shy of it for Chalice.
I think the worry is at the moment for LGD is the fact that that top lane is going so well for Samael. This is going to be a Sand King that's going to have those quick items, whether he wants to get the drums or whether in a game like this he does just want to go for the Blink Dagger Rush. At this pace, Samael's going to get it quick. And sort of as you said, they are going to maybe try for a movement up here, but a Sand King it's not an easy hero to gank.
Yeah, he's harder. The Coddle's the easy one. You just
Sure.
grab him, you push the tower. If you need a little bit more help, rotate it in. But right now it's Arteezy onto Chalice, and Chalice has no help. The Naga just TP'd up towards the top lane, so Chalice, 112 damage plus into Arteezy. He'll take a little bit of aggro from the creep wave.
He does have to be carefully challenged because he keeps trying to use the Decrepify aggressively, and that, you know, at the early levels, it does give a lot of time where he's pretty vulnerable. You know, as soon as he's on cooldown for the 15 seconds, Arteezy's just going to come running at him and getting the physical punches in.
FY searching for Misery. He's trying to find him in the trees somewhere, but they start with the homing missile into the ensnare. You got the first stun from the Rock Golem, and with the Penitent Man, he shall not pass Sumail. The Illuminate hits absolutely nothing, and Sumail dying to that Invis rune.
Yeah, one of those ganks that's very hard for EG to take a read off. You get a lucky rune like that, it's highly likely you make a play. And I do like that they did take it up to Sumail, because he was having a good time. And as I say, the sort of the Blink Dagger timing could be absolutely deadly for LGD if Sumail gets it. So they've got to make sure that they can slow him down as much as they can at the start.
And allow for the push. But how do you really counter that? Like, does EG push themselves? LGD's lineup, like, they're the aggressors early on, unless Sumail can connect on a couple of these burrow strikes. But even if he does, it's a level 1 Illuminate to follow up. Middle lane, LGD, the rotations continue. FY as well as X-Nova following up after the Dragon Tail stun from Somnus, and the Breathe Fire will ensure the kill. A quick TP out won't happen, Infernal Blade will cancel it. So a 1-for-1 trade-off, but how much is really lost in the mid?
LGD's moves, I'm liking them. I think this is pretty big. You know, you've just gone top, you've managed to take Sumail, you get to Fear, and now look, you found themselves another in the mid.
Mana for Breathe Fire, they've got it with the one charge.
This, honestly, this Chen, DK, Naga Siren move, well, the Chen Naga for start, because the DK, as we expected, is sat mid, he's hitting 6s in the tower, but the support movements from FY and Nova have been bang on. Now we'll see Crit come over, maybe see if he can find something in return.
They're sending FY back just before the Lycan Wolves can try and kill him off, not to mention that Urn charge, and he'll live. They're so quick with the tower pushes.
This is 6 minutes in, and EG, they've lost their mid tower. I mean, as you said, we knew this was going to be a chance of happening. You hit level 6 on that Dragon, you're going to push. You had the backup of the Chen army. This is LGD hitting those timings.
You sometimes wonder too why the Chen gets played. You're like picking through the files of LGD of like how long has it been since Chen was played.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen the LGD Chen. At least I was looking about 3 months. X-Nova's not touched this. Normally, as I was saying, you know, he plays the, not to say easy heroes, but he plays like the Witch Doctors, the Ogre Magi's. But this guy on his Chen, he's reading the map perfectly.
Yep, and he's also reading just the way the play comes out. We saw it earlier today. Exactly the same thing. You're able to convert one of the catapults to your side, and these pushes just come like thick and fast. SK, there's 14 one charges up your sleeve. X-Nova, the Mud Golem's not enraged for the stun. Somnus Breathe Fire, the Mud Golem stun will get the kill. It reaches far enough. The Centaur Stomp also keeps Arteezy out. He only stole 10 damage. That's insanely minimal.
Look at the
and then the Ensnare again. The Mud Golem stun holds him in, and now it is EG losing multiple heroes on the top lane. Misery will run to safety through the trees. But now you've left Chalice alone on the bottom lane. Level 2 blast. He's going to add pressure towards the tower.
I mean,
and EG, what do you do?
That movement from the DK, EG absolutely did not expect a Dragon Knight to be waltzing up to top, and it's perfectly timed. Now he has the other Dragon form back up. If they want to put some pressure on, they can. But as you say, this is the sort of worry for EG. There's so many heroes, whether it be the DK or the Pugner or the Chen army, that can put pressure onto towers when you're not there.
And here we watch it again. So Sumail has the one charges. Somnus with this Breathe Fire. It barely clips him on the edge and allows the Mud Golem to get it.
Honestly, this is LGD. They're reading the map like a book. They're in the right places at the right time, and it's certainly starting to heat up against EG.
And EG need to try and stem this, but how do you stem it when you know LGD want to push? They've got Arcane Boots on the Pugner. Somnus is down on the bottom lane with Dragon Form. So you got Dragon Form and level 3 Blast. It's not only the tier 1 tower which will come under pressure here. It's going to be the tier 2 unless a defense is mounted by EG. Because the push is just too easy for LGD.
Yeah. And I think the real worry is for EG, you know, we saw obviously Sumail was given that top lane.
being top. Naga, FY comes in, the Burrow Strike will be there, X-Nova, trying to slow down Sumail. The Troll Trap is not available at the moment, but the Ensnare is going to be there, allowing the Centaur to come in close range, get the stun, hold him, Burrow Strike, get Sumail a little bit more distance, and he will be able to get away to safety as the sole remaining EG hero on top.
Yeah, but they're bullying the Sand King. You know, he's the Blink Dagger. He's 700 gold there at the moment. They absolutely need Sumail to grab that. Once they have that, EG, they can definitely look to fight. With the Blink Burrow Strike, the Shapeshift, in fact, mid lane with that Shapeshift, they're going in.
Underneath the call down, Crit's going to try and fight. He's got the Stentor Stomp inside of him. allowing the kill to come into Arme. The ensnare way too late to control up Lycan long enough for any kind of rebuttal.
It's a good move from Fear there. He hits A, he has the shapeshift as well as the maximum walls, so huge amounts of damage output.
Wait, did that Hadouken not even hit Sumail? It looked pretty good online for it. Arteezy.
He had the raindrop.
Ah, raindrop hold. Okay, that'll make sense. Chen Army, pull it back.
And they really want Sumail. And so far, as I say, the pressure they've been putting onto him has been nice. The DK, maybe he's getting bigger and bigger. He's 3-0-1 with those rotations. He's going straight for the Shadow Blade, and this is going to be very nice in terms of walking in, setting up for the gyro combo to come through, and then make it very hard for EG to sort of go for the plays as they've tried to once the shapeshift's back online. They've got to be really careful how they go about diving towers, because as soon as one stun connects, as we've seen with the Chen Army, with the ensnare, there's so much from LGD to hold EG in place to allow the full gyro combo to come in, and we've yet to see the potential of the gyro and the Pugner. You know, once we see Arme and Chalice join forces, people are going to get blown up.
Yep. You got a Pugner with no points up in Netherward. He has been all about laning phase. But you're right, that teamfight control, LGD still want to use what they've got for now. They're hunting this top lane. They want that tier 1 tower dropped.
You've got to get out. You don't want to hold this if you're EG.
It's
this
is
so
difficult.
Scary.
They're smoked up behind him. If he Burrow strikes anywhere but in the trees, he's going to die. The homing missile's on the way. Troll Trap will cancel the TP, and they just drain the life from him. Decrepify to Amplify, and now it's going to be a tower trade-off. EG push to the bottom lane, while LGD already have a head start pushing through the top.
I wonder if yeah, there's not TP on the Dragon Knight, and TP still not called out for Pugner, so yeah, absolutely no.
Just push.
No hope that LGD goes back for that. And as you say, yeah, just stick up on this top lane. You have more chance of taking the tier 2. You know, at a similar rate that EG's taking the tier 1. So this trade favoring LGD. They're now at a 2k lead. It's down to 1k with that tower going down, but if they finish this tier 2, they'll certainly be back up in quite an advantage. You've got, obviously, Misery trying to clear out this wave up top. Fortification will come out, but LGD, they're not going anywhere. They've got the Sustain, they've got the Unholy Aura from the Satire Tormentor, healing them back up with that extra regen. That's a tier 2 tower going down in 11 minutes.
Yep. I'm not even certain how EG forced the issue against him. Like, you want to come up and defend that top lane. Unless you bring everybody, it just doesn't work. Fear, you can go into your ulti form, but Ensnare will hold you there. Homing missiles coming in, and Fear, just what do? Stunned up, locked up, and Ensnare again.
Honestly, just the control is perfect. Mid lane as well, Arteezy tries to come in onto Chalice, but the magical damage is too much at this stage. He has to get out. There's backup coming in from Misery and Crit. We'll see if they can close the gap, but Chalice, he's a Pugner. He's speedy.
Yeah. Fast movement speed. The Doom can't really close the distance.
The Shadow Blade.
Oh, and goodbye, Keeper of the Light. I was actually wondering, too, like, who Somnus would try and focus. Obviously, picking up the supports like Keeper of the Light, who is their primary source of D-push at the moment, makes more sense than anything else. But, like, canceling the Doom also makes sense, but you've got so much control on him. There's no easy way for Crit to hit anybody, and even if he does hit somebody, do you kill him? You've got so many ways to keep people alive in the LGD lineup that you can't even kill them off, because you could just Song with the Siren, walk off with the Doom, and that's it. And you're not gonna Doom FY. That's almost a complete waste of a Doom then.
No, I think that is a very good point. Oh, and top back in the jungle, Fear, he's been found out. Somnus and Chalice come in for a walk, and they get him, just straight up walking in. You're also able to pop the Dragon Form under an Arcane Rune as well, so he's going to have that up relatively quick. And bottom lane, even without the DK, LGD's just pushing in with Xnova's army.
Misery's dead. This call down's going to hit so damn hard. They've still got Song of the Siren, Crit. There's the Song of the Siren just holding him in position, keeping him out, and then gets sent back to base very quickly. So Xnova doesn't have as much time to escape as he probably would have liked.
Then I like the Nagasari. FI was like, look, I'm singing, you're sending me home. I don't know what your plan is of going back to base, but just get me out of it. So yeah, Xnova sort of taking one for the team there. But as we saw, getting pressure onto that tier 2, forcing a reaction from EG, they did have to come down. And, you know, they sort of did work in the sense they put a stop to it. They got a kill out of it, and they'll certainly take what they can get now. And they have to do something big with this. Sumail, he has the Blink Dagger. They've smoked up. They need something big off this reveal.
I like how Somnus is keeping his next item very much secret. I've been waiting for him to put something in his quick buy for so long. He just sat there with a Shadow Blade and then nothing. But the bank account's building up in areas. He's made his choice. It's a BKB.
Yeah.
So they want to have him as the proper frontliner, because the get out of jail free card is Song of the Siren. The rest of the control will come from your Ensnare, or come from your Chen creeps, even the control from Decrepify. is enough just to make EG worry, and there's your initiation. 8-1 charges, Chalice starts to drain onto Misery. The War Stomp from Crit cancels that one off. The cooldown's in a nice position, but the Pugna's already dead. The 1-for-1 trade-off, the Doom sacrifices life for this, as Arme needs to back out a little bit further. Arteezy not really getting great damage deals in this game, but a good pickup here by Sumail, putting that Blink Dagger to use, close the distance with X-Nova. So 2 heroes dropping, 2-for-1 trade-off. EG will be a lot happier with this.
Absolutely. Sumail just doing the right stuff there with the Blink, getting that initial jump in. They had the way to cancel the life trade, and also smart movements from Arteezy. In that fight, he just sees the dragon, goes straight for him, keeps on top of him with the static link. Sure, he's not going to kill him, but he's going to really limit what maybe can offer to the fight. If he can static link that Dragon Knight most of the time, he's going to be fine.
He's going again, this time onto Arme, but Arme still with a lot of damage, but not enough. Sumail arrives once more, bringing in the epicenter. Just a lack of the damage on top, and Sumail will get the kill. 423 gold and some really good experience in gold going the way of EG now.
Yeah, I don't know who's making the shot calling at EG, but certainly as soon as that blink's there for Sumail, he is leading the charge perfectly. 3 kills in a row, within minutes of picking up the Blink Dagger. This is exactly what they needed. And they were sort of, as I said, putting their eggs in this basket, giving Sumail that top lane, getting him the protection, so we did get a relatively good Blink Dagger timing. And of course, it was a little slower than they hoped because of the pressure that LGD put on. But now Sumail, he's pulling off the plays with it, and he's getting sort of that momentum back for EG and starting to slow down what LGD were able to build up during the laning stage.
Yeah. This is exactly where EG want to be. It's also a good test of their character coming into this LAN event, ensuring that while a lot of disappointments that have come their way during the North American qualifiers recently, here, yeah, you're behind. You're behind by about 4K gold and just shy of 1,500 experience, but then to resolve yourself. Obviously, you're not out of the woods yet. LGD are still leading the way as they go inside of Roshan looking for this, but the Burrow Strike out, FY, he's a long way away from the rest of his team, but now Stomp Dump, Song of the Sirens there, but he's burning too much, can't get the song off. Roshan is only down to 2/3 of his life, and I'm not certain there's enough time.
I mean, they don't...
Wait, do they not know?
They've got that ward over in their jungle. It's not going to... Yeah, there's no vision around the pit here for EG. So EG, unless they go check it, they are not going to be aware of that. And to be fair, with the Naga dead, you're not going to expect this, because you would normally expect LGD to go for the Roche when they had the Naga song to protect them. But LGD, they call the bluff, and they go for it. And they've just caught EG off guard. They did not expect that at all, EG. They're just going to look for some pressure elsewhere. They have got the army moving in onto the tier 2 bottom. Fortification coming out from LGD.
They may have also been a little bit worried. You didn't have Epicenter up. You didn't really have a lot of the big abilities of EG available, so they may have not even wanted the fight. So focus on the gold, focus on the tower. Just keep that push going and get a better trade-off, because it's working. It's not risky. A big team fight underneath what LGD could potentially offer is a very, very risky proposition. So go for the safe stuff. Go until you get your BKBs up, until Lycan's ready to fight, until he's got his level 3 Necro book, which is now only 1,100 gold off.
Oh, look at this standpoint again.
Sumail.
Honestly, each and every one of these kills
might
not be found. They'll drop the Doom. Crit, he's not messing around with that Pugna.
Friends are coming. Sumail's trying to get rid of the Nether Wall, but the Song of the Siren holds him there. The call down. You got rockets, you got flat cannon. Okay, you don't have flat cannon. You've just got the rocket barrage. Crit will die. Sumail leaving his Doom just to blink away to safety. He's still got 13 1 charges, so he can Burrow Strike if need be. And he has the distance to escape.
He is out of there. And very close to having that 4-staff. I mean, honestly, Sumail is going to be the one to watch in terms of making plays. I mean, he already is. Once he's got the force, he's going to be slip-sliding around the lineup of LGD.
And meanwhile, while he's doing that, Arteezy finishes up the SMY. He'll come on the courier in just a bit, but this is a very tanky and very high maneuverable Razor. Running away from him is going to be more difficult. And not a hero who also cares about going underneath the Nether Ward. Yeah, it's only level 1. Underneath cooldown, so be it. But they're going to need to start shifting their control into the Razor even more than they already have been, which is going to free up the Lycan in his Necro books to start hunting even more. And the movement from Fear, bouncing from tower to tower. We saw it before. He used the Dominator to steal the Catapult. Very much the same way as LGD was using the Chen to do the same thing. Bounces between the towers. Now he's up on top, pressuring the tier 1. While LGD move to the opposite side, down to bottom.
They'll look to finish off this tier 2 tower, and they will find it here. EG, as you say, just wanting to go for trades. FY is getting closer and closer to that Spirit Vessel. He has been for a while. It's going to be pretty important. A lot of these heroes, these cores playing around the regen, the Lycan and the Doom especially, you get that Spirit Vessel down on them, and suddenly the passive of the Scorched Earth is pretty useless. and you can get the kills onto these bigger targets, which they are going to start struggling with because, yeah, Arteezy and Fear, they're similar levels now to the net worth of those of LGD's cores, and they're even getting themselves slightly ahead, especially in these sort of the Arteezy versus Arme case. Arme does have the SMY going straight for the BKB.
They're hunting. They found a target. It's Sumail. Somnus underneath the cover of the Shadow Blade. The 4-star bub. Sumail Sandstorm does not protect him.
See, at the same time, though, Arteezy wraps around the back. He's able to focus down the Chen. Get at least a trade here, but obviously LGD coming out on top of the moment. STG can find more Fizz, trying to come in with a shapeshift, but the creeps there actually blocking him off a little bit. Arme tries to turn with the cooldown. They have the defensive Decrepify on Arme to protect him from the Necro books.
I think they were just tempted to keep following the homing missile, which was right on the back of Arteezy. Better to focus on a better target. Ensnare onto Misery. FY finds the moment. And Somnus with the Breathe Fire gets the kill. And this is dangerous. Every time you lose a fight to LGD, normally it's the shoes on the other foot when you get a Lycan on your team, but you got DK and Netherblast. They're pushing in.
They've still got the Aegis on Gyro. LGD feeling very confident at the moment. They'll at least force out the fortification and a buyback from Misery. So LGD will be very, very happy with that. And there's the Spirit Vessel now done for FY, so they can sort of get away with these pushes a little bit better, not only having it offensively, but the sustain as well.
Does he look in the right place?
Oh, Fizz poked his head
He comes out, and FY's in the neighborhood. There's no way he escapes from this. Can't TP, it's on cooldown for 12 more seconds, not to mention the chain stuns which are arriving from LGD.
Oh, and he steals his dog. Look at that, Nova.
You know, that's just, where's the loyalty?
And it's
a dog's meant to be
it's a pretty good steal
creature, right?
You know, you get a bit of the Invis vision with this as well. You know, it's very nice to scout with, stealing the puppies of Lycan. Look at that. He's getting it all the intel. He's going to sweep it over. If he can sweep it over and spot out EG over in their jungle, that's going to be some valuable intel.
They just try and go for a straight up push instead. You got a catapult behind X-Nova.
I mean, like now, look, they've got the dog on Arteezy. They know that Arteezy was on his own because of that, but Arteezy plays it safe, obviously, with the moving across. In terms of the warding as well, LGD have got those two really nice wards inside the jungle of EG. EG did have one, but theirs is just timed out. So this area of the map, not really safe at all for EG to farm, because LGD will be more than ready each time to sweep around and look to try and get a pick off. If
DK really just wants to be the ultimate frontliner. Yeah. He got SMY after his Shadow Blade. Now I'm looking to complete up an entire heart. There's not a lot of damage coming out. Well, I suppose there's still a decent chunk of damage coming out of it.
Heart lets you punch a bit with his strength and such, but I think that the idea here is, what are you getting a BKB for? He did have it queued up and he obviously chooses against it. The Burrow Strike sure is annoying, Blinding Lights are annoying, but the other three heroes, they're looking to punch you. Static Link Doom, that goes for the BKB. Against those, as you say, you just want to tank up. You want to be this massive force that can just head into the front lines, get that, you know, those crucial stuns as we've been seeing, that when LGD does get the lockdowns, they're able to get the pickoffs one by one in these fights.
It may also just be that answer to the high ground attempt, right?
Yeah.
As long as Somnus is able to tank up that tower, you just Netherblast and Netherblast and Netherblast, and like Illuminate's not enough to kill off Creep Wave right now.
Look at this wraparound. Look at EG's positioning though.
It is nice. They need the target. Already Somnus, he's mana linked up for the moment, doesn't want to start running away. Has to be force-staffed out here. Burrow Strike from Sumail, caught the Chen. He needs to get the hand of God off Arteezy on 78 HP. Arme will finally come up the hill to kill him off. It's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Buybacks are available. Chalice, they want some space. The Song of the Siren. Oh, not going to happen when the Doom is up. And Sumail gets the epicenter in through the backlines, kills off the doomed FY. That's the one time the Doom on FY really did pay off.
Absolutely, that fight there, it didn't look too great for EG until Sumail comes in with a big two-man Burrow Strike at the end of it. But as you say, the Doom was on the right target. It was a good initiation from EG. They go straight in, Arteezy gets the link down. The sort of the bad thing was that they were able to separate the DK from the Razor at the start. LGD.
Oh, that blink away. There's no detection for it. He just didn't like it. Something was sniffy about it.
Because in these fights, Sumail, ideally on that first Burrow Strike, he wants to be catching the target that Arteezy's linking, and he wasn't able to quite get that angle. So still, you know, at the end it was great. He's able to get back in and get the 2 kills, but maybe could have gone a little bit better if they're actually able to sort of protect Arteezy that little bit more, make sure that he gets that big link off him.
Let's see it again.
We'll see it again here when they go for the link play. But this is just the end. This is the finisher where Sumail, he just cleans up in style.
We only get to watch the end of the movie, not the filler episodes.
Now that's sort of the EG fan-approved edit of that fight.
You're going to have a couple more problems for EG in the next fight. Lincoln Sphere is now completed over on the Pugna, so there's at least some way to block Arteezy from just starting on whatever target he wants. And okay, Keeper of the Light wants to bring in more friends, as it will be Sumail. Ensnare will hold him in position, but they find Chalice. Netherward's up on top of the hill, but now Arme arrives too, holding on to the cooldown for the moment. The Flat Cannon could do some work to get rid of it, and there's the song. Is there another real follow-up? There's a couple of one charges. Here comes the call down. Crit, the only one caught by it, but Fear rooted up by the Ensnare, and this is problematic for EG. 3 heroes down, 2 do have buyback, but now they go on the defense against a pushing lineup.
This is the problem when you play against the Naga Siren. There's always going to be those fights where one press of the button and the Naga can turn it all around. And as we're seeing time and time again, just the setup for the cooldown, as you say, the root play as well, each and every time, just it doesn't matter what sort of movement speed you have on this Lycan with the shapeshift, if LGD is able to hold you in place, and each time they perfectly focus Fear, and once he's held down, he melts pretty damn quickly.
And here they come high ground, EG. Buybacks available on the Lycan to bring him back to 5 men, but they've already lost mid. Question is, how much more do you really lose? The tier 2 tower was a loss, so LGD, they're going to rotate towards the bottom. You don't have the dragon form.
And he doesn't have shapeshift on Fear, so even if he comes back in, he's limited on what he can do. Sumail's got the epicenter, and again, I think if you're EG, you're looking for Sumail to make a big play.
Like they want to kill Somnus, but Somnus has the heart. Like he completed it at the end of that last fight, so you're mana leaking him out. But there's one charge that's available to Decrypifying into the drain. Crit, with the Hadouken from the Chen Creep. So much damage into Crit, and Arme flat cannons down the rest of it. You try and keep an army alive, and it's very hard to do so. FY having to stand his ground. 17-1 charges again, still available. They'll kill off the Satyr, and they look for what? How far do you really go? The Netherward's there in the defense line for LGD behind him, and they want to keep chipping away. Homing missile spam. Here comes Shapeshift form. As Lycan runs forward, they got the Doom off on the DK. Sumail get the follow-up Burrow Strike, but Arme with the cooldown. Flat Cannon only now just comes back off cooldown. They want to kill Arteezy. They want to kill the Razor, but he's draining out. There's no more damage. Sumail with the double Burrow Strike, but Decrypified up, can't follow through. FY is still alive. He's inside the sandstorm. They don't have the detection. Now they do. Goodbye, Sumail, and goodbye the hopes of EG. 2 lanes of racks down, 3 heroes without buyback, and they're going for the GG push here, LGD.
And I'll tell you what, there was a chance at the start of that fight where maybe Sumail could have got in, but FY, he was just constant. It's GG. It's over. He was constantly throwing Spirit Vessels down onto Sumail, so Sumail, he just couldn't get the blink in. He could only go in at the end of it, and at that time, it was far too late. FY.
Man, terrific performance from LGD. EG, it looked like for a bit they had some hope. For a bit. But for once, our panel gets to be correct.
Yeah, I mean, the Dragon Knight, as you were saying, the build was perfect. The Shadow Blade and then the S and Y Heart. He just tanked up, and we saw in that last engagement, Crit, he drops a Doom down onto him, but maybe doesn't care. Not dying the entire game. 11-0-6 on this DK from a perfect lane to those perfect early movements as well.
Yeah.
Taking the towers. LGD just had a game plan, and EG, they didn't know how to stop it.
Man, I think you're right. Like the movements, the game plan, X-Nova at FY's influence in the early game, even pushing into the late game. The combination was right, the draft was right, everything was right, and the win goes the way of LGD as EG will have to do it the long road through the lower bracket. Best of luck to them, but LGD, congrats, 1 game through.
Vodafone presents the post-match.
Well, you've heard Toby. LGD got it right. Maybe got it right. Everything was right. The draft was right. And guess what? The panel was right too. Yeah. I know it's a bit of a shock this morning, but well done, gents.
We got one.
You
so
are
now
winners.
We went from 0-6 to now we're 3-6. We made up for all the problems.
Yeah. So who was the problem?
I'm not saying it. We might have been chanting it downstairs in front of him.
I'm just saying that this is why you don't trust stats, guys. It's misleading. It can screw your analysis. Just
Poor Alan. Just kidding, Alan, man. Just kidding.
Yeah, they're pulling his leg, luckily. Let's talk about the game.
I was really surprised to see how many nets were casted in that game in the first 10 minutes. Not even just the Naga. I just thought the Chen, with the shard golems as well as like the ensnares. Every time every time the Lycan shapeshift was bought, it felt like he was chain CC'd, controlled. Same thing with the Sanking. He would try to like, get into the fights, get rooted. Can't cast a spell because he's chain rooted. They made such good rotations with their supports on the side of LGD.
Like EG's laning stage went well in the offlane there with Razor, but it seemed like Sand King was pressured heavily here. Gyrocopter got a lot done. It just seemed difficult for them to be effective here in the laning stage.
The very first net combination they did with the missile is when he managed to pick up the Invis rune, and he just timed it. He waited, like, they casted the missile, and Sumail's like, yeah, whatever, it's just a missile. And all of a sudden, like, bam, the ensnare, and then the missile actually lands right as the ensnare finishes up. They did that a couple times. That was a really great effect.
I mean, at this point in the game, it looked like it was okay for EG. They were able to defend the high ground push. They got a crucial kill, but the LGD push just kept coming repeatedly, and that's one of the big downsides to having a hero like Support Doom, is that your ultimate is a cooldown of 145 seconds. It is forever, and you don't really gank that well in the time between that. So I'm just not sold on Support Doom. I don't think this is really a thing.
And then Naga allows you to reset, and you've got the Pugna heal to be able to put on the Doom target as well.
The Pugna felt like I felt like he did so much actually. Just I don't even know what the building damage was. I didn't get a chance to see it at the end of the game, but every single time it just looked like he was knocking at buildings. They'd win they'd get like 2 or 3 kills. Again, they're just hitting buildings, getting these objectives. And the cores on EG, they never could get BKB. They would just get bursted down so quickly because of that Pugna.
I think it would have been very different if they didn't have a Dragon Knight on their team, because it was that guy in the front. That's very hard to kill. Doesn't matter if he gets doomed. If you run at him with like Lycan Wolves and everything, the Gyro, he can stay alive long enough that Gyro can clear everything with help from Pugna. They just seem to have like all the solutions to deal with the EG offensive tools.
And that decay went 11-0-6 in that game.
Maybe went ham.
Yeah, no, it's proper game from him. I refuse to call him. What is this nonsense name? Somnus.
It's his name, dude.
His name's Maybe.
Yes.
Just had to live with it from now on. Where did EG go wrong? Was it from the draft? Was it the first 20 minutes?
I personally do not like Support Doom, and I don't think you should give up Naga Siren, especially a Naga Siren combination like that. I actually think the hero's far too strong.
I think they didn't expect this Chen either. Like you said, they've only played it once before. I think this Chen really caught them off guard, and X-Nova was on fire with his rotations.
Yeah, he was. I think in the end, we talk about EG coming into tournaments a bit slow and a bit, not getting going early on. It's going to cost them in this kind of format, isn't it? They've got one more chance now to come through that lower bracket. It's going to be tough, isn't it?
It's going to be really tough. I mean, dropping that first game like that, too. It's not even just... Sure, they had a decent showing in the first 15 minutes or so, but then it all fell apart really fast. So that's a hard thing to come back from.
Yeah, it's one of the few times that we've seen that EG actually have the Lycan Fear, and that's their true carry. Yeah. Right? They have Arteezy Razor, and they have Sumail Sand King. Like, you're actually depending on Fear to be able to carry that out that game. Right. And that, again, this is not on Fear. He had to deal with Naga Siren Net, and he had to deal with Chen creeps. You saw that one time where they were in the Radiant jungle. He got slept up as he was mid-transformation, and then boom, ensnare into Troll Net. With all that damage coming out from the Gyrocopter, there's nothing he could do as a Lycan carry in that game. Yeah, it was a rough game, and a slow start, I guess, from EG. We've got used to it, I guess, as a slow start from them, but if you can play faster, maybe you'll feature at the end of the day in our Play Faster award from Vodafone. Maybe that little play by Saman in that last game might feature. We'll see a little bit later on. We'll head towards a break right now, but after the break, we have another match. They're coming thick and fast right now. Game number 4 will be with us, and it's a really fun one. You won't want to miss it.
They left it. They had a go and they walked off. Everyone, cool guys don't look at explosions, I know, but if there's no explosions happening, there's nothing to not look at.